And yes, now I think we are ready. Sorry. Hello, everyone. We've arrived to the end of the symposium. Thanks very much to you all for joining us. We had a 3 full day, very intensive program where we had a lot of in-depth discussions, conversations around wood, sustainable design, wood architecture, and wood in building practices mainly. We hope that we could succeed to start creating an exchange of knowledge between Turkey and Sweden. Actually, for this closing speech, we didn't organize a structured closing session here, so it will be more like an informal conversation mode. So we just wanted to share some of our ideas, our assessments by the different team members of the Woodlife Sweden in Turkey program. So you can see here on the screen an extensive team of the Woodlife Sweden in Turkey program team members. So it was really great to work all together with the Swedish Institute, the Consulate General of Sweden in Istanbul, Embassy of Sweden in Ankara, Architect Sweden, AnkaraAks in between, and with many other partners, of course. Now I will hand, I think, to Yüksel Hocam, to you. I will hand you over. So here you are, the stage is yours. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Feyza. I'm early because I have to leave early, so that's why. Thank you very much for this tolerance for me. I'm really excited to be here, and during the symposium, I felt so happy and excited that we did this, and I'm so thankful to our Swedish partners for bringing this to the table. I mean, we've been talking about it since a few years. The pandemic actually avoided it for a few years, or like postponed it for a few years, but now finally we did it, and I'm really happy that we did it, and I'm looking forward for the follow-up actions and events, and maybe the triggered events that we can't even guess what is going to happen, because there has been many interactions, many inspirations, many contacts, and I think an epistemic community is forming around this subject, the same concern, which is very, very important, bringing all the shareholders together. So I just would like to express my happiness, gratitude, hope, and also excitement for, let's say, future developments. And I really would like to thank to our teams. I mean, you see them, some of them here. You can see some of the members of the team behind the scene, before the event, preparing the event, gathering the resources here, and then finally coming with a very smooth, very well curated event. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So there won't be much of an order to how we speak, but I'd like to just dive in, if I may. I think most of you watched the last presentation, and for me it was probably one of the most interesting presentations. Actually, it left me on a kind of cliff edge, which I like, to be honest with you. This is the state in which I prefer to be left when a symposium ends. Not having answered all the questions, but left with a huge question mark at the very end of it by a piece of work that is actually of a very, very, very high international standard. And I think one of the things that came across to me when I was watching from time to time and taking part, obviously, was the level of the conversation was incredibly high. And that really made me feel very happy, because I felt like we were not just talking to ourselves, we were talking globally to each other and creating this community already, as Yüksel pointed out, around the subject that is clearly very close to the hearts of everyone who is involved here, all the way down to the, you know, the minutest detail of everybody in this process very much feels for the subject. And so apart from the fact that it was an incredible collaborative exercise, it's and here is where biomimicry comes into it in my mind. We were working like bees without really talking to each other. We were swarming, and the kind of coordination exercise seemed to me seamless, which created this incredibly powerful collaborative environment that I would personally like to thank every individual who was involved in there. And I don't want to go through the whole list, but also all of our supporters, our sponsors, who continue to support the circle, and amongst everyone else here, all of the other collaborators. But one of the things that I want to somehow depart with from this exercise is not the end of something, but the beginning of something. And therefore, from all of the collaborators that gathered around this symposium and the exhibition and the events that are coming along, we would like to make a permanent community that continues to interact with each other. And we've been working on the platform, as Mike knows. We already tested it once and we liked the way it worked, but we were waiting for this event to bring all of the pieces together. And now the pieces have come together, all the voices have come together. I feel that there will be a strong dialogue if we bring all of you together into this community, which, for want of a better way of explaining it, is a kind of meta world in the Facebook sense, in which you can interact and you can talk to each other, exchange documents, program, etc., etc. So I would like to invite everybody to that, and Feyza and Nurullah and the Circle community will reach out to everybody who was involved to invite you into the community that the Circle will create. And that's what I want to say. Maybe Tove, you could give us your perspective. You're all the way out there in Stockholm. You feel like you're right next to us.
And I've been very happy to have been right next to all of you for the few months that we've been preparing this event, and also for these 3 days. It's getting dark here, as you can see around me, so I sit a bit in the dark. But my name is Tove Wallsten. I work for AnkaraAks Sweden. I would really like to put a big thank you on behalf of AnkaraAks Sweden, the Swedish Institute, Swedish Wood and the Swedish Forest Industries, and all the Swedish speakers with whom I've been in contact on WhatsApp and SMS and emails in parallel to the symposiums. They are all super happy and very impressed by the symposium we've all been creating together, and also together with the audience. You've been with us on this 3-day journey, and I'm very happy that you've all been involved and put very good and interesting questions also in the Q&A sessions. It's been a fantastic journey together. We've gone from past to future. We end on a happy note. We're going towards a brighter future. We cannot start it all over again, but we can be sure to try to make a better end, and at least work towards a better and better film, climate-wise, in the world that we are creating together, the cities we are building and creating together. So I think I would like end with a huge thank you to all the team, to the Circle team that have made this possible, to all the audience, and also I hope that all our Turkish partners and guests will have the occasions to visit the exhibitions that are at the moment in Gazhane, in Istanbul, and Cermodern in Ankara, and I'm trying to pronounce it right, to see the Woodlife Sweden exhibitions. There's a lot of inspiring examples. There are many of them in Turkish as well that we've seen the last days, and I really hope the conversations and inspirations will continue. It's been fantastic 3 days. Thank you all.
Yes. Thank you, Toby.
Right.
Thank you for bringing this opportunity all the way over here. I mean, excuse me, you've done an amazing job of putting all of the theme together and the exhibition. It has a completeness, a sense of wholeness about it. And all we did was kind of attach ourselves to that story. And I really like that past, present, and future structure. It just made things really clear to everybody. Don't you think, Mike? I mean, you just had to sit by the corner there and just watch it all happen in front of you.
It's been amazing. We've covered so much ground, and like Yüksel said, this process started over 2 years ago, and I'm so glad we persisted, and that we're here today, and that we're going to find new ways of continuing, because I agree, this is the start. This is the first time Turkey and Sweden have met in such a serious context around wood, about sustainability, and I think I can see lots of connections already. So I hope we can follow up on that in our internal meetings later. One reflection I have is that it's not a fantasy anymore. You know, you can think that, you know, wood sustainability, yeah, but it's not. We proved that today. I mean, from a technical point of view, from a sustainability point of view, it's a possibility, and it was really inspiring to see Can and Jan Orman's Duviet project, how they're sort of looking into, how did they put it? It was participant inclusion, seeing the whole picture. It's not enough just to transition into wood is material. We have to transition our minds and the way we operate, the way we think about things. But I think we can do that in a very contemporary way. I think we can connect being part of the global community as well as being part of the extremely local community. And I think that is something that is a door that's opening up in recent years, and maybe the pandemic's helped that as well to a certain extent. But I feel very optimistic after these 3 days. I think we proved scientifically that there are ways of moving forwards, and also all the enthusiasm that everyone I could sense, irrelevant of which field or aspect, has brought to the symposium has been really inspiring. So I'd like to thank everyone again. I'll do that on a face-to-face level after this, so I won't take the time now, but it's been a great journey, and it's the beginning of a longer journey. So thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike, for making it possible for us all, of course, and the Swedish Institute, Maria, I mean, all the people who are not here. I don't know why they're not here. Maybe they're watching actually from the Hopin channel. But I would like to ask from another perspective, Merve from Ankara. Would you like to say a few words? What's your perspective?
Okay, thank you for the words. Actually, being involved in this project has been amazing, bringing together in this international institutions and people and creating an exciting and successful team has been really productive and educational for us also. And getting to see what we can do with the wood. Right now, I'm in Cermodern, and I get to read and look at the structures, and every time I read them, I get more mesmerized, and I want to achieve and do more. That's why I want to push our boundaries and our resources and support my friends, my colleagues, my teammates to move forward with this. And I'm really excited for the upcoming events that we will do in Ankara with this workshop. We are aiming to make people realize what they can do, and they shouldn't be limited to what they see that is in front of them. So thank you so much for this symposium. It has been so full and so compact. Thank you, every one of you. I know how hard you have been working, we have been working, and we will keep working to make here better. And one last sentence: consistent fantasy is reality, and that's what we are doing right now here. Thank you all.
Thank you, Merve. It was wonderful to have you guys around. You really brought joy to our process. And Ece, I would like to ask you to say a few words since you were so deeply involved in this process.
Yes, I thank you, Selçuk.
Structure
I
of the
mean,
symposium, especially, I thought was very good.
which one, sorry?
The structure of the symposium and the
It was thanks to Tove's overall structure that brought to us, and then many discussions over the structure. And well, maybe I'm going to start from there. Like I was really happy to bring the subject here, but also choosing to challenge ourselves with also mentioning the psychological barriers, you know, like we're not just talking about let's build with wood, it's great, look here, but we also decided with Tove's encouragement to challenge it and talk about the issues, like why are people worried about it and how they are right and how we should be more informed about it. So for me, absolutely, it helped me learn about more things. So I was deeply watching it, even if I knew what exactly was coming for. It was still very exciting for me to watch it and learn about it and ask questions. So I'm very proud of all of us for bringing up these issues. And about the team, I mean, what do I say? I've worked in big architectural projects before with big teams, but this is my first experience in working in a big professional team like this for a project like this. And I was amazed, like it was such a good coordination, coherent conversation, and our weekly meetings. And sometimes we're like, how is this gonna end? It's never gonna end. Sometimes we're panicking, sometimes we're relaxing, but it was absolutely amazing. Like really looking forward to more collaborations like this in the future.
I think teamwork is actually what really comes across to me most. I mean, that was my first line. I want to make, you know, the teamwork is what really comes across here. And I know that Nuka, you were not able to take so much part for obvious reasons, but thank you for being part of the team. And Alp, you're hiding behind your camera, always hiding somewhere. Would you like to say a few words, Alp, or are you going to continue to hide? I think he's going to continue to hide. Oh no, there he is. So give us your perspective from behind that camera. How has it been from your perspective?
Well, I have started taking a bigger role towards the end of the symposium. I have always been behind the cameras, not hiding, but behind the cameras. I've been helping the organization team with technical stuff, sometimes graphics, sometimes just opening up and closing Zoom events, Zoom meetings. It was very tiring. I definitely need a cold beer right now. Maybe on a timber table, on a timber seat, in a timber restaurant. That's all I have in mind. Honestly, before the symposium began, I was hoping that I would be able to listen to every panelist. And eventually I was able to listen to all of them because I was behind the scene in all Zoom meetings. I'm tired, but I feel lucky to be part of this thing.
So your brain is the fullest of all of us, because we were only able to pick, but you listen to everything. So you must be an amazing mine of knowledge right now.
I'm not even sure if I have a brain right now because I have to listen to everything, and I'm really confused right now. I have keywords. I remember keywords from each panel, but like too much information, so I have to process them in the following weeks.
I can understand you entirely. Faiza, thank you very much for keeping this whole thing together. I mean, I don't know, I'm sure everyone has similar thoughts, that Faiza somehow managed to keep all of this coherent and whole and together. So I'd like to recognize that. You can sit there quietly, but we know what you've been up to. And Aslı, I'm sure that you've been in the interstices of every bit of this. You seem to be that kind of person. Although I haven't had much contact with you. I'm sure that you've also been in the interstices, and without you would not have been as good as it is now.
Selçuk, I should interrupt you. It was our first meeting when I first started working at the Swedish Consulate. It was in February. And then since March, the whole team right now I see on screen, like weekly, all Wednesdays, we had these minimum 3 hours meetings every Wednesday. It was fantastic to see the results now. It's really amazing to be here now. So excited. And thank you all. And Maria also sent a message, Selçuk. Have you seen it?
I wasn't
Maria
reading.
Kron from Swedish Institute says, thank you very much for
yes.
inspiring days. Yes, we are
Yes,
watching you.
Oh, yeah. They are watching.
And
Okay.
Oscar.
Well, Maria, Oscar, hello. How are you? Unless anyone else has something urgent to add.
Maybe Nuka can say a few words, because he's been all around the symposium as well. Great support.
Nukacığım.
Well, thank you very much. I think what I would like to say is that, first of all, I would like to thank to Swedish Consulate and Swedish Institute for giving us this opportunity to meet with people and also to spread out our message about sustainability, about forests. But I think a part of it, as the forest has been in this world for million years, more than million years before human beings, we still have a lot to learn from them, and we still have to consider forests to be a resource and inspiration for collaboration, for equality, for nature. And I think that was the best part, this collaboration between these groups, and especially between these teams, and with all participants and everyone that we met, that we had chance to chat, and we had this very meaningful encounters with. So thank you to everyone, and hope to, and I'm sure that we are going to continue to broaden and to enhance the community altogether in the future as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Nuka. So shall we say good night then? Well, let's all turn our microphones on, make a lot of noise.
Lots of echo then.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you all for joining. It's been fantastic.
To be continued.
To be
Bye.
continued.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.